Hello Gemini, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, Gemini. How the heck are ya? I hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking here. Look, we've got a couple of oracle decks we're going to get at. I'm going to throw some oracles. We'll look at the overall energy for the week ahead, and then we'll throw some tarot at it and find out what's going on. This reading is always for the week ahead, Gemini. You know that if you're my ride or die, if you're here all the time. And if you are the one doing the viewing and clicking and subscribing and your thumbs up, that really helps and it counts. Thank you so much for doing that. Gemini, let's find out what's going on for you. I was just out last night with a few Geminis, and oh my gosh, the witty banter just never ended. It was so much fun. We were all laughing like crazy. It was really lovely. All right, here we go, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini. It's coming up in the week ahead. All right, so we do have foresee, regret, and relax. So foresee. This particular card, it gives me the feeling of something that could easily have spun out of control. But I feel like you do foresee this thing. Like I feel like it's something that's already on your mind, something that you already know about. And I feel like it's coming to you in divine timing. I feel like there's something that you know that's in the distance that you're going to have to take care of, or you're going to have to give your particular attention to. Excuse me. So you foresee something coming. Now we do have relax and regret. We'll find out what regret is about, what you might have regret about. But I feel like whatever is coming up in the future that you need to prepare to take action on here, because it feels like something is about to be born, I feel like it works out the way you want it to, because relax is here. I feel like you deal with it in a very relaxed manner. Something here that you need to prepare to reframe. So it does feel like it's something that maybe that when it showed up to you last time, maybe you had a bit of a hard-ass attitude toward it. Maybe you threw swords at it, I'm going to say. But I feel like you need to prepare to reframe something because it's coming at you again. Look, our lessons are like that. Lessons will keep finding us until we finally have a realization that it is a lesson. We learn the lesson, we stop suffering, and we continue forward. So I feel like prepare that something new is coming, but I think this something new is something that's reframed. And what I mean by that is it's like an old soul in a new body. It's like a situation that keeps cropping up for you, and it keeps cropping up through that person or that thing or that situation or the workplace, but it's the same situation over and over. I feel like you need to prepare for it to show up again. And then I feel like once you recognize it, you can release it. All right. Let's find out what else is going on for Gemini. Tell me about foresee. What does Gemini foresee? We've got dedication. It says, stay dedicated to your goals, efforts that will reap success. So it does feel like there is something here that you know, like I said, is in the future. It feels like you are dedicated to figuring it out, but you know that it's coming at you. You know you're going to have to deal with it again. Tell me about the regret. Maybe you regret the way that you dealt with it the last time it showed up, and maybe you've got a little more calm or relaxed energy when it shows up again. You'll be a little more prepared, I want to say. Tell me about regret. We've got resolving issues. That's kind of what I felt here. So there is some sort of issue that needs to be resolved. And I feel like you might be carrying a little bit of regret about the way you handled it the last time it showed up. And now it could be a person. Let's say this person keeps coming at you. You keep pushing them out. Like maybe it's arguments or fights. Maybe it's a friend or a family member. It could be that. Maybe you regret the way you handled them the last time they showed up. But I feel like you're preparing to do it differently. You're going to reframe it. And I feel like this is the time when you're going to learn the lesson so you don't have to go back to this again. It says solving inner conflict with others, healing past trauma. So it feels like maybe you regret the way you dealt with it or the way they dealt with you. But I feel like either way, you are going to resolve that in the week ahead. Because you've got this dedication to your foresight, right? Like you're able to foresee how things will turn out as long as you're prepared mentally to deal with it. Tell me about relax. We've got release. It's lovely because we also have release right here. So I really do feel, oh, look, it leads to an awakening. I really do feel that there is something here that is showing up again for you, and you're going to be able to deal with it this time. And it says here, releasing grudges, wounds, and pent-up feelings through healthy activities. So it feels like you will be able to release some sort of grudge, or a wound somebody caused within you, or a wound you recognized, and now you're no longer going to let them poke or pick at the wound. It feels like you have had some pent-up feelings, and that you have learned to release those feelings in different ways. And I feel like one of those ways that you're releasing those feelings is through relaxation. We've got happiness. I love it. So releasing, relax, prepare, happiness. It feels like once you reframe it, it feels like there is something here that is going to lead to happiness. New discoveries that lead to celebrations. Love yourself first. I like that. Let's find out what's going on with tarot here. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Gemini, if you're interested in booking a private read, please know that private reads are open. Check the pinned comment for all the information you need. Tell me about dedication and foresee. I think the dedication card is telling me that you're dedicated to a goal of resolving an issue so you can release it. That's what it feels like here. Ooh. That one just popped right out. We've got the Six of Pentacles. So foreseeing that the next time that person shows up, the next time that situation presents itself to me, I'm dedicated to resolving it. I'm not going to push it away or ignore the call or the text. I'm going to face it head on, and I feel like you're going to give to the situation. I feel like you're going to give someone your energy, and you're expecting that person's going to give energy back to you. I feel like we are talking about a friend. Maybe it was a friend you lent money to. We do have someone here who is trying to keep in balance while they're giving to others. So I feel like that there is a decision you have to make about something in the Pentacle world. Could be energy, could be money related, and it feels like it has something to do with a friend or a friend of a friend or a colleague at work or someone else that you know outside of a love relationship. I don't think this is a love relationship. This feels like it is a pentacle relationship, so a partnership or a friendship. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. I like this because the Queen of Pentacles is the one who is into resolving issues. This is the one who's very planned, right? Very grounded. I'm very grounded and very planned. I'm dedicated, right? Dedication. This is a person who's a dedicated friend or a dedicated lover or a dedicated mother or father, right? This Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's quite balanced, who has found their footing in the world, and therefore, because I'm not chaotic, because Pentacles are very organized and practical and purposeful, because you're not feeling unorganized or up in your head, now you can deal with things very solid in a grounded way. And so I think that's what the resolving the issue is, that you're going to deal with it the way the Queen of Pentacles would deal with it. Preparation is what the Queen of Pentacles does. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. This is Capricorn energy specifically, the person who's the overgiver, but also the person who's going to have their whole year planned out, right? So this preparation here, I feel, is what is going to go down, that you're prepared for what you're going to say, what you're going to do. You've already thought it out. Tell me about release and relax. Once you release it, then you can just relax. There we go. This is a lesson, because when the lesson is here and the student shows up, it tells me that you've decided to look at something very differently, that you've decided that you're going to learn the lesson. Look, for those of you who are suffering, whatever the suffering is, it doesn't matter if it's someone that you've lost to the other realm or something that maybe you're going through painfully in your life. Once you see the lesson, the purpose of it, that's when you can stop suffering. So I feel like you've decided that you're no longer living in this suffered energy, that you're going to look for the lesson, you're going to learn from it, and that's what's going to change everything. We've got birds in the background indicating that I feel like there's something here that you've been thinking about, right? Birds are always indicating air energy. But I feel like this is, there's a lesson here that you've learned. And I like that you need to release grudges or wounds, because those things, when you keep them in yourself, they actually cause physical ailments. They get stuck in the organs and they cause physical ailments. You'll get sick. So this particular space I left available here because we're going to look at this as the week ahead, but this space here will be for the week after that. Tell me what then comes up in the week after this one. We've got the Five of Pentacles. And we've got the Five of Swords. So I feel like for some of you that you are looking at a situation that you are like releasing a grudge or a wound, and then you're just going to leave people on the outside looking in. Look, you don't, just because you've decided that you're going to forgive somebody, it doesn't mean you have to let them back into your life. You can silently forgive them and just leave them on the outside. But I feel like this Five of Pentacles and the Five of Swords is telling me that it's a little bit of lack that you're going through. It almost feels like you're rethinking, should I have just not reacted this way? It feels like you've learned a lesson about release, but it feels like you now start second guessing yourself. We'll go back and clarify that and find out why that's going on here. Tell me about the Six of Pentacles, dedication, and foresee. We've got the Queen of Swords. I like it. The Queen of Swords is the one that can be a little bit hard to get along with. Look, that's your energy, whether you're feminine or masculine. It's Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy. But the Queen of Swords generally is Libra energy. She's the one who's looking for balance through the way that we speak to each other. So I'm not here to ruffle your feathers. I'm here just to be very honest with you. And to me, it doesn't matter, whether you take that information in a wrong way or not. That's sort of up to you. But I need to be very clear about what I'm saying. I need to be very honest with you. It feels like your dedication is to honesty and truth, regardless of the situation. And I feel like the Queen of Swords always has a lot of words and knows what to say. So I feel like you foresee that you'll know what to say when the situation arises again. It's because you've grown to this place of confidence. You've got confidence now in your thoughts, the way that you think, the things that you say, that you are highly intelligent. It's like you have the confidence in all of those things here. You're very practical with the words that you say. It feels like you're very intentional with how you move now, whether that's in the Pentacle world or in your mind. We do have the Five of Cups, which tells me that there is a little bit of regret, and we do have regret that's showing up here. So I feel like you're hoping that somebody's going to come back at you, that we can even the scales, that we can talk about it, that we can work things out through reciprocal energy. But I feel like I don't think that you were scared in the first place, but for lack of better words, I'm going to say that maybe you were feeling like, oh, maybe I'll never get a chance to make this right or to resolve the issue. And I feel like it was on your mind as a regret. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles for Gemini. Of course, we know when the queens show up, they are feminine or masculine energy, so take it as it resonates for you, whether you are feminine or masculine. We've got the Three of Cups, we've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got the Ten of Wands. So, resolving issues, regrets. Look, I feel like for some of you, it might be a broken relationship that we're talking about. It could be a broken romantic relationship that maybe you regret now the way that you handled it, or maybe the things that you said within the situation. I want to say that the Queen of Pentacles and the fact that you are dedicated to resolving some sort of issue with somebody here tells me that the Three of Cups, that you want to come back together with somebody, or maybe we should go out for dinner. Can you meet me for a coffee? The Knight of Cups tells me that you're slow to do that, but the Ten of Wands tells me that the purpose is to become more stable and grounded and to drop the burdens that you've been carrying. The Two of Wands are the first wands here to hit the ground, and I feel like you're preparing to make some sort of a decision to maybe reach out to someone, or waiting for them to reach out to you again, because I think you foresee that. The card of foresee. I think you foresee that somebody is going to be reaching out to you to have some sort of a resolution here. Tell me about the Page of Swords. We've got the Hierophant. So for me as a reader, I always see when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I feel like you're ready for this lesson. You're ready for the release. We've got the Fool. And we've got the Eight of Swords. So I feel like in order to release yourself from the Eight of Swords, which is the place of overthinking, feeling like your hands are tied or that you can't do anything about the situation, I feel like the Page of Swords is releasing you from the Eight of Swords, because it feels like you're ready to learn a lesson that is shown up here with the Hierophant. It feels like a spiritual lesson, and because you've been willing to learn the lesson and release, I feel like it's the Fool that shows up and tells me you've broken through the cycle. You've broken through the chapter that was really tough for you, where you were stuck, and you'll no longer be stuck in that chapter. Tell me about the Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Why is that here? I feel like for some of you, you're going to silently forgive someone, and then you're just going to say, you know what, we really don't need to be friends. We don't really need to be in each other's lives. I don't think that you say it verbally, but I feel like it's sort of this intrusive thought of maybe I you're like second thing. It's like a second thought. Maybe I shouldn't have done it the way that I did it. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. And we've got the Seven of Wands. Knight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. So I feel like that's what you do. For some of you, you're just going to forgive the situation, release it, resolve the issue with either speaking to the person. It could be that you want to speak to the person about how you felt emotionally about the situation. For some of you, this is maybe resolving something that you had regrets about from a relationship back there, just so you can move forward. Some people just want to resolve it so they can move forward. But it feels like the Seven of Wands is, I don't really need you in my life. I now have boundaries. So I'm keeping you behind the boundaries. It does feel like for some of you, the Five of Pentacles is telling me, rather than telling me it's lack, it tells me disconnection, that I no longer really need the connection with you. I really just wanted to resolve the situation, because the Seven of Pentacles is telling me that you carried something with you that was really hard work, and that you just wanted to quickly resolve it, get it off your shoulders, and not have the intrusive thoughts about it, because really what you're looking forward to is happiness this year. I feel like that's your plan this year, to prepare to be really happy, because you're resolving issues that you no longer need in your life. And it doesn't, whenever we forgive someone or have a conversation that resolves something, it doesn't mean we ever have to be in contact with them again. It means that we finally lift whatever heaviness was on our shoulders. We finally lift the burden, and then we're able to move on here. Bottom of the deck. I love it. The Ace of Swords. So it's like this aha moment that is exactly what I had to do. I had to let go of it so I could move on from a situation. Six of Swords. So I could get out of the chaotic mindset that I had, feeling guilty or feeling terrible about the thing that maybe I had regrets about back here. Eight of Pentacles is telling me it's because you're practicing self-mastery and working on yourself that you come to this clarity and realization that I'm just going to cut this out of my life now so I can move forward and be happy. I kind of like that for you, Gemini. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Have a beautiful week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.